That is what I want to say. In fact, for fighting terrorism, a proper understanding of terrorism as well as its difference with the people's war is necessary. What is terrorism? Terrorism is an ideology that believes in terror as the necessary, inevitable, and only effective means to achieve a particular goal. While the people's war is based on the aspirations of the people and depends on the level of consciousness as well as the degree of organization, terrorism relies on individual heroism and sacrifice and never cares about public opinion. A people's war cannot survive without the initiative of the people, without setting free their immense capacity for action, and without their creativity. According to Mao Zedong, revolutionary war is the war of the masses. It can be launched only by organizing and rallying the masses. As such, philosophically, a people's war believes that people and people alone are the real creators of history. Terrorists, on the other hand, on the contrary, believe that only heroes create history. As to terrorism's contribution in its 400-year span of history, it is only a bunch of fire-eating heroes and their daredevil adventures. Though terrorism criticizes unjust social system, it fails to present any viable alternative. In fact, its failure to come out with any scientific analysis of social development makes the criticism of social systems important. Thus, terrorism, after much heroic antics, leads people into a blind lane. It leads them nowhere. Yet nobody can deny that terrorism has survived over the ages. Being self-destructive, it is defeated repeatedly, but like the phoenix, inevitably rises again. It must be understood that as long as there is oppression and injustice, as long there is hunger and poverty, terrorism will raise its head inevitably as a voice of protest in the absence of a viable alternative struggle. One may remember that Russia had been a hotbed of terrorism before the advent of the revolutionary struggle. China had innumerable secret societies in the pre-revolutionary period. My experience regarding terrorism, of which Akbar mentioned, others also told, my experience regarding terrorism during the Naxalite movement has been identical. In the initial period, we had to fight terrorist ideology for establishing a mass revolutionary line. During that period, we acted as per the sanction of the people, even in the Presidency College, as per the sanction of the students there, as Akbar can tell. But when we accepted the formulation that annihilation of the class enemy is the highest form of class struggle and the beginning of a guerrilla war, and then imposed this program on the masses, we become isolated from the people. As a result, the mass revolution struggle itself degenerated into a sort of terrorism, a social terrorism, a socialism that is socialism in words, but terrorism in practice. That is the real cause for the failure of the Naxalite movement. I often see people boast about crushing Naxalite movement, and that honor is being given to Siddhartha Shankar Rai and many others, maybe Ranjit Gupta and others. But the real cause for this failure lies here. Thus, the original struggle degenerated into a crude vulgarization of the original Naxalbari uprising. The same applies to the Maoist armed movement spreading across the country at present. We are suffering from it. Initially, the movement was welcomed by a large section of the people in this country. But the overdependence on modern arms, overdependence on the choice of terrain, indiscriminate killing of poor tribal people in the name of punishing informers through kangaroo courts, annihilation of lower level CPM cadres in the name of fighting revisionism, forcible extortion, establishing hegemony of the party over the people by demolishing existing pluralism in rural society, all these have contributed towards transforming the party into a highly regimented totalitarian outfit. If this distortion are not rectified, the Maoist adventure, in spite of all its initial promise, I can tell you, will inevitably degenerate into social terrorism, and the whole movement will become a vulgarization of Naxalbari again. As a result, the Maoists will surely lose much of their appeal.
Thank you.
And 2 minutes only. An analysis on these lines shows that the fight against terrorism is more a political affair than a military exercise. Clearly, the task is beyond an army, conventional or not. Hope rather lies with the ongoing march of democracy that we are witnessing all over the world. It is a pity that we often forget the fact that hunger, poverty, underdevelopment, corruption, WikiLeaks, you know, corruption and injustice, these all breed terrorism. If you want to fight terrorism, attack hunger, attack poverty, attack corruption. Otherwise, the torment of terrorism will go on intermittently, sporadically, off and off. Thank you.
Thank you.